Mosquitoes trapped in the Coachella Valley recently tested positive for two potentially deadly viruses, West Nile and the lesser-known St. Louis encephalitis. And tonight, the Coachella Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District is warning people to protect themselves. I spoke earlier with Public Information Officer Tammy Gordon. Tammy, thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
The focus, of course, remains on coronavirus, but we can't forget that there are other diseases right now that we have to deal with as well, including West Nile and something called St. Louis encephalitis.
That's right. So we have about 13 different mosquito species here in the valley. Luckily, only 3 of them can transmit diseases, and 2 of those are, as you said, West Nile virus and St. Louis encephalitis, which we are currently detecting in a variety of different places throughout the valley right now.
Is it mainly the East Valley?
No, the East Valley right now does have a high count of traps that are coming positive for St. Louis encephalitis. However, we have also detected in Palm Desert, in Cathedral City, in La Quinta, and in Indio and Coachella. So there are a lot of places that we have detected both viruses.
A lot of people aren't familiar with St. Louis encephalitis. What is that?
So when you're talking about mosquitoes transmitting a disease, they are very common in that both West Nile and St. Louis encephalitis have similar symptoms. So they're those flu-like symptoms, like a lot of other things are right now. But if you're feeling achy or headache, the difference in St. Louis encephalitis is that it's also nicknamed the sleeping sickness. So you're extra drowsy, and in fact, different than West Nile as well. West Nile stays with you forever, but once you have St. Louis encephalitis, if you pull through it, you will be immune from then on.
Is it a serious illness, or are the survival rates pretty good?
It can be serious. So it's, again, similar to West Nile, very few people will actually feel any symptoms. It's about 1 in 5. However, the people that do feel those symptoms start feeling that achiness, those flu-like things, and then it can start turning into encephalitis, which can cause motor damage or speaking problems, things like that. So it's really important that you're paying attention to your surroundings and protecting yourself from being bitten right now, just so you can prevent any of that risk when you're out in the valley right now.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of signs up, at least in La Quinta where I live, warning people about mosquitoes. What are some of the things that we need to do to protect ourselves?
So when we're talking about personal protection, mosquitoes' favorite time to be out is the same time we are. They don't like excessive heat. They like it in the cool evenings or in the cool mornings. So when we're out walking our dogs, try to avoid those times if you can. But we know that, that's when I want to be out too. So wear the long sleeves, try wearing insect repellent, just do those little extra precautions to reduce your risk of getting bitten by mosquitoes right now.
Is this the time of year where we can expect to see a spike in these types of diseases, or will it dissipate when we get closer to the colder winter months?
So this is really common for the valley. Unfortunately, so when we're talking about mosquitoes, a lot of people think that desert mosquitoes don't exist. But here in the desert, most of our sources for mosquitoes come from man-made sources. We are the cause of mosquitoes being here, which makes it, in the summertime months when they also enjoy the weather that we like to have as well, they'll start spiking. And part of this as well is the migratory birds. So the way that those viruses originally get transmitted is an infected bird will get bitten by a mosquito, and then that mosquito will then transmit it to humans. So when the birds are going back and forth through our valley, across the Salton Sea and such, that's when those viruses really get a little bit higher and start seeing those peaks. Right around September, October is when they'll start coming back down again. So you're right, through the winter time, we won't see a lot of activity, if any at all, until the next mosquito season, which is probably about April.
All right. And what is vector control doing right now to contain these mosquito populations?
So right now, depending on where we're detecting, so we do a lot of surveillance. We have a lot of scientists, biologists, ecologists that are on staff that are constantly going out and testing and trapping these mosquitoes. Where we find any viruses, that's when we'll do enhanced surveillance. We'll send more people on the ground, our technician, and they'll start looking for any of those stagnant water sources. Anywhere where it's like that starts turning green or stinky water, things like that. They'll treat anything that they see, or try to get rid of the water completely. The scientists will then go out again and try to test. And if they find the virus again, that's when we'll have to vamp up any of our surveillance and control efforts, which is why you're talking some of the signs that you've seen in your area. We'll also do neighborhood treatments by either truck or helicopter, depending on the area that we're discovering those viruses.
Okay. Tammy, we appreciate your time. Thanks for talking with us.
Of course, anytime.